Yo, what is up guys, welcome to HITC Football. Today we're looking at every Premier League club most likely August signing. The Premier League has already kicked off, but the transfer window is still open and some clubs are definitely looking to make some signings. And some of those clubs really need to make signings soon. And the main question is obviously, will players like Frenkie de Jong and Aubameyang feature in this video? I can tell you that right now. If you want to find out, make sure to watch the entire video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're starting off with Arsenal, and the player that they are most likely to sign in August is not going to be Nuri, because I personally think that the club is definitely not willing to let the Belgian international go. Even if that means that he will leave on a free next summer, this guy is just way too important for Leicester. But the player that I do think could join Arsenal is Yeremy Pino from Villarreal. The 19-year-old made a name for himself over in Spain, where he played really good for Villarreal and he even earned his first cap for the Spanish national team. And the winger has huge potential, so Arsenal definitely could do with this player. They might have to fork out a fee in excess of £40 million, which is definitely not cheap, but it makes sense because his transfer value is around £36 million. So let's see if Arsenal is willing to pay that amount of money for Pino, but it definitely would be a great signing. Next up is Aston Villa, and I personally think that they could sign Victor Nelson from Galatasaray. Obviously, the fact that Diego Carlos is not going to be able to play for a long time because of his injury is definitely a big disappointment for Aston Villa. They expected a lot from this guy and he was probably going to be the main defender for Aston Villa, but unfortunately due to his injury that plan has completely failed, at least for the next couple of months. But you can also see it as a good thing that this has just happened, because Aston Villa is still able to find a replacement for him. And the link with Victor Nelson is pretty easy because Villa director Johan Lange knows him from his time at Copenhagen. The player is reportedly also ready to leave Galatasaray, so that is also a plus for Aston Villa. Nelson is only 23 years old, his transfer value is just over £10 million, so it definitely seems like this deal could be completed before the end of August. The next player is Antoine Semenyo, who might leave Bristol City in order to join Bournemouth. In their last game, Bournemouth lost 4-0 to Manchester City, but that game made it very clear that in the attack, especially in the absence of Dominic Solanke, they definitely lack a centre forward, because the club clearly doesn't have enough options. Moore tried his best against Manchester City and he failed, which, like I said, is not a bad thing, but they clearly need another player there. So Antoine Semenyo could be a good signing from Bristol City. His transfer value is just over £2 million, so definitely attainable for Bournemouth. And the rumors suggest that this deal will be completed, so I personally think that it will be a good signing for Bournemouth. Next up is Brentford, and they already did some great business this transfer window. And especially the arrival from Mikkel Damsgaard from Sampdoria is a very good transfer. Because 1 year ago, this guy was one of the best players for Denmark in Euro 2020. So naturally, after a signing of that caliber, there's not really a lot of transfer speculation surrounding Brentford. But Cardiff City forward Isaac Davies is one player to keep an eye on. Because after all, Brentford have a history of signing homegrown youngsters from the Football League. So I definitely see Brentford making a signing like this, so maybe this will happen before the end of August. Next up is Aston Villa, who will probably leave Villarreal for Brighton and Hove Albion. But I have to be honest, while I'm recording this video, this deal hasn't gone through yet, but it might as well be completely done when I upload this video. Because the other day, numerous reports already said that talks were underway and they were going very well between Villarreal and Brighton Hove Albion. Fabrizio Romano also said that this deal might be completed soon, so by the time this video goes out, this deal is probably already confirmed. And next up is a new signing from Chelsea, because Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang might leave Barcelona for the London side. And this transfer makes total sense for both clubs, because Barcelona obviously just signed Robert Lewandowski, they still have Memphis Depay, they obviously still have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So they have a lot of good strikers and they can only field one. And that player is clearly going to be Lewandowski. So Aubameyang is definitely not going to be Barcelona's main striker. And after the departure of Lukaku, Chelsea still need a striker, and Aubameyang already showed that he can do it in the Premier League, so this would be a great signing from the club. And we're going from a player that might join Chelsea to a player that's most likely going to leave the club, because Crystal Palace is trying to make a move for Conor Gallagher. Gallagher already impressed at South Park last season, and it's clear that Crystal Palace want him back for this campaign. And personally, I think that this move will be very good for Gallagher and for Crystal Palace as well. Because in Chelsea's first game, Gallagher only played 5 minutes, which clearly isn't enough for him. Because right now, he just needs to play a lot of games, and this season at Chelsea, I don't think that that's possible. And with the World Cup around the corner, I think that Gallagher still hopes that he can make the squad. And it's clear that that will not happen if he will be sitting on the bench at Chelsea. Next up is Serhou Guirassy, who might leave Rennes for Everton. Everton is still trying to get some signings in before the end of the transfer window. For quite some time, they are already trying to bring back Idrissa Gana Gueye, but this deal seems to be stalling at the moment. And right now it looks like Everton is trying to sign another player from Ligue 1, because Everton is reportedly willing to pay £15 million for Guirassy. And last Sunday the player wasn't even in the squad for his current club, so it looks like this deal will be confirmed very soon. The next player is probably going to leave Serie A for the Premier League, because Fulham is reportedly eyeing up a deal for Roma's Justin Kluivert. The club needs a replacement for Manor Simolon, who is out with a long-term injury, and Justin Kluivert could be the man to replace him. At least for the couple of months that Salomon cannot play. But this deal seems to take quite some time, because there are already reports a few weeks ago, but the deal still isn't confirmed yet. And a move to Fulham could be good for Kluivert, who clearly didn't succeed at Roma. So hopefully if he gets the move, the former Ajax wonderkid can find his feet again. Next up is Kai Wagner, who might leave Philadelphia Union for Leeds United. And because of Junior Firpo's ongoing injury issues, they need to have a replacement for him at left back. And for around £2.5 million, they can sign Wagner. This will definitely help the squad out, but it still isn't the striker that Leeds still need. So I personally think that after this deal, Leeds will not sit around and they will still be looking to sign a number 9. Next up is Leicester City, and they obviously lost Kasper Schmeichel to Nice. Schmeichel was very important for them in the last couple of years. He also won the Premier League title with the club, but right now he's gone. And his backup Danny Ward doesn't seem like a first goalkeeper for Leicester. And it didn't really help that he blundered against Arsenal. So the club is reportedly looking into signing Odysseas Vlachodimos from Benfica. And a few years ago, this guy was one of the biggest talents in Portuguese football. And after 1 year, he was already linked with big moves away, but he had a little bit of a fallback. But right now, it might be the perfect time for Vlachodimos to try the Premier League. Next up is Marcos Leonardo, who might leave Santos for Liverpool. So right now they can invest in the future, and this is definitely one of those signings. Multiple sources in South America have already reported that Leonardo is going to sign with Liverpool. And Brazilian expert Milton Neves has even said that this guy is the new Romario. And I know that we have to be careful with these type of statements, but it clearly shows that Leonardo is an exciting talent. And the same goes for Manchester City, who are not looking to sign big money players. So the Manchester club is also looking to make signings for the future. And the player that they are eyeing up is Robert Renan from Corinthians. And the last couple of years showed that Manchester City scouting in South America is very good, so I basically trust them that Robert Renan is also going to be another very exciting talent. And here's the one you guys have all been waiting for, because I know that this saga has been dragged on for weeks, for months now. I know that it's his dream club, but the club clearly wants to get rid of him. And with the World Cup around the corner, I don't think that this is the ideal situation for him. I think that before the end of August, this deal will still be completed. And for Frenkie de Jong, this will clearly be a big change, because Barcelona is playing Champions League football. They have a great team now, and I don't really have to say a lot about Manchester United, because we've all seen what has happened these last couple of weeks with the club. But signing Frenkie de Jong would clearly improve the team, so that will be a good step for Manchester United. Next up is a little bit of an odd one, because Christian Pulisic could reportedly leave Chelsea in order to join Newcastle United. Because just like Gallagher, Pulisic is another Chelsea bench warmer who will be desperate to play first team football before jetting out to Qatar. So in my opinion, it seems very unlikely that Tuchel will stand in Pulisic's way if Newcastle make an approach for the former Borussia Dortmund player. Next up is Neal Maupay, who might leave Brighton for Nottingham Forest. On Monday morning, Graham Potter omitted Neal Maupay's name when he discussed the forward options at his disposal. So this might have been a confirmation of the Frenchman's £15 million move to the City ground. This might be a little bit far-fetched, but there are a lot of reports that Maupay is reportedly very close to joining Nottingham Forest. So in my opinion, this deal will be completed sooner rather than later. Next up is Liam Delap, who might leave Manchester City for Southampton. After City's 4-0 win against Bournemouth, Pep Guardiola admitted that Delap would benefit from a loan move away from the club. So if he stays, he might have to do with a few cameos here and there, but a loan move to Southampton could be way better for him. And the next one I personally think is very strange, because James Garner is reportedly going to join Tottenham. And I don't understand why Manchester United are willing to let Garner go, especially with the current state of their midfield. The player might be available for just £14 million, and I think this could be a good deal for Tottenham, but a very bad one for Manchester United. Next up is Thilo Kehrer, who will probably leave PSG for West Ham United. And this deal really isn't a secret anymore. Multiple reports have already stated that Kehrer is going to join West Ham United, and the club is also confident that the player is going to join the club. And the last player of this video is Hwang Ui-jo, who will leave Bordeaux for Wolves. Nottingham Forest have had a bid accepted for Hwang, but according to reports in France, the South Korean scamp are holding out for Wolves instead. The player is available for just £4.5 million, and he could be a very good alternative to the injured Raúl Jiménez. So guys, that's every Premier League's club most likely August signing. How many of these signings do you think will actually happen in these last couple of weeks? Let me know in the the comments down below. As always, be sure to like, share and subscribe. Click my videos on the end screen right now and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.